Okay, this video is why I hate cell phones. I hate cell phones because part of my goal in life is to be smart and intelligent and do good, creative, intellectual work. And cell phones make people stupid. They make people stupid in many ways. We'll start just from the beginning when people are young. My wife and I had a big disagreement about giving the kids cell phones. She wanted them to have cell phones. I think they were like 7th or 8th grade, so they could always call her when they needed a ride home. I thought that was really ridiculous. I was a kid many years ago and I never had to have a cell phone. I'd call from my friend's house if I needed a ride home, and the kids could do the same. What I noticed, for example, my daughter in 7th grade was a real bright kid, would read a lot of books and talk to me about whatever book she was reading. As soon as she got a cell phone, she never read another book or discussed another book with me again. Once they got that, they're like tied into all the other kids their own age, and their whole social life becomes the most important thing, which is bad. Social life in children is very overrated. Their friends don't know anything more than they do, so they're all around a bunch of people who are equally ignorant, and all they care about is being popular in that little clique, versus when a person who's young spends time around adults, older siblings, they learn because the older people teach them things. So social life for kids is very overrated. I actually think, for example, homeschool is much better. The kind of social stuff you learn at school, it's not good, okay? You'll learn better social skills at home and being around old people. Go to the tennis club, see how everyone's dressed and polite. Okay, so anyways, getting back to the cell phone. They also encourage this short attention span, 140 characters, this quick little texting message, illiterate thumb writing. Hardly anybody reads books anymore. And, young people are very into their social, quick fix, immediate gratification of attention. What are the most popular videos? These shorts on YouTube, 1 minute long, or other short stuff on other video channels. Okay, that's not developing cognitive function. Real intellectual work, good, high quality work, requires sustained concentration on something, a sustained attention, and I think cell phone works against that. I also notice I'll walk into a room where there's a lot of, let's say, young and middle-aged people, and quite often I'll see they're all on their cell phones, not even speaking to each other. I've also heard young men say that they think cell phones have one of the things destroying women, along with birth control and easy divorce, okay, and easy AB. And what they say is that there's the women are connected to so much social media. They said an attractive woman gets so much attention on social media that they very often become promiscuous. And I can tell you, the young men, and I talk to a lot of them, they say to me, no way would I ever get married. They said the women are all promiscuous. They would never be a good wife. Why should I put up with their BS? Why should I risk getting divorced and sold into slavery? And I think a lot of women are going to be very sad because they're also encouraged by modern society to get a prolonged education. And when they sort of bounce out of that and stabilize their careers, they're in their 30s now, and they're going to find that men do not want them. These guys tell me, why should I, commit myself to any one woman? It's stupid. There's going to be a lot of single unhappy people and childless people. Infertility's through the roof. Okay, so what else are the other problems with cell phone? Let's see. They track you like an animal tracker. I mean, they're designed to do that. That's why you can't turn them off. They increase surveillance of the citizens. They destroy the privacy of the citizens. They track them in numerous different ways, economically, socially, etc. I think to me, a cell phone's like, communist, Democrat officer spying on you, okay? Come on, that's what it is. It's sort of a personification of atheistic Darwinism whereby you are not entitled to the right of privacy, okay? That's not good. That's sort of what we're heading into. And, society's at a turning point. And unfortunately, the bad guys are winning. We're headed towards a complete loss of freedom, complete loss of prosperity, and the American public's too stupid to realize it. Just open a book. Anybody who's read about Russia in the 1900s, it's pretty obvious. Read about China in the 1900s, it's pretty obvious. Okay, what are the medical reasons? It opens up the blood-brain barrier, and it also opens up the voltage-gated channels in the brain. So it functions as an excitotoxin. So it has a tendency to make you more anxious, potentially make you stupid. And being stupid is the thing to worry about. Yes, of course, it increases the risk of brain cancer, but brain cancer is still rare no matter how much more common it gets. All right, versus cognitive impairment, that's super common. All right, what else? You put it in the chest pocket. A woman, she got increased risk of breast cancer. The men putting it in their front pockets of their pants, they're lowering their sperm counts, abnormal sperm motility. It's kind of, I tell these young guys, that's counterproductive. You want to become strong. in your microwave and your balls. They're low-power microwave transmitters, these phones, most of them. Okay, and also they've brought about all these cell phone towers and this increase in Wi-Fi. Well, guess what? That does the same thing. It's also electromagnetic fields, EMF, opening up the blood-brain barrier, voltage-graded channels. So it basically puts an extra burden on your body's repair systems, and that people make worse with things like alcohol, caffeine, etc. So it's just lowering humans' ability to function. So why would I want anything that's going to lower my ability to function? When I used to work as a surgeon, imaging-guided surgeon, interventional radiologist, I used to have a cell phone. I didn't use it that much, but I had to have one. Women are a lot more social than men are. I mean, just by comparison, looking at my father when I was growing up, my father was a doctor. He was a boxer in college. He never once in my entire life, and living around him and knowing him really well, never did I ever once see him make a social phone call. Zero social phone calls. My mom had all the phone numbers of his friends, and whenever they entertained at the house, she would invite all his friends over. And what I'm trying to say is I'm pretty much like my dad. I think a lot of men are like that. We're not that social. I mean, yes, I enjoy talking to people. I like seeing people, but I don't spontaneously call people. I could easily go a month and not make a single phone call. The people who know me, they know how to talk to me. The people who don't know me, why would I want to talk to them? I can communicate with anybody who sends me an email or who writes a comment on one of my YouTube videos, but intrinsically, we're not that social compared to a woman. My wife, she could make, on any given day, she could make 10, 20 phone calls, talk. And I actually think that's part of being smart. I'm always thinking about something, Right now, I'm trying to understand intracellular calcium metabolism because that has a tremendous effect on whether or not a person becomes demented or not. So I'm interested in that. And my mind, when I'm not doing something like physically busy working or something, or commuting, I'm thinking about calcium metabolism at the moment, and I think that's how I get good at thinking about things like calcium metabolism because I really think about it. I'm not looking at my phone, I'm not doing anything else, I'm just going to work, working, coming home, and I'm thinking about calcium metabolism when I'm not immediately busy. Okay, that's what's on my brain. No, don't get me wrong, I miss my old days of being a wrestler with a great social life. Now I'm just an old doctor who works all the time. But still, I'm happy that at least I'm doing something with this, and I think that I've noticed that this is one more thing that just drags you down. All these cell phones, all this wireless stuff, all this Wi-Fi stuff. Better off hardwiring everything, okay? Better having a phone plugged into the wall. Okay, what are the environmental reasons? Cell phone towers are everywhere. They're exposing us to more EMF. Same thing with this Wi-Fi stuff. They're damaging to the animals. The birds that migrate, they migrate based on navigation of the Earth's magnetic field, so this disorientates them. They'll sometimes crash into power lines, crash into cell phone towers. Tons and tons of them have died from that. It's also thought to be potentially one of the contributors. It's also pesticides and herbicides to bee colony collapse of the bees, and that's a big deal for the food supply of the world. The vast majority of plants are fertilized by these bees. I just read something saying it's 85%. I don't realize if it's that much. I don't know for sure exactly how much it is, but it's a lot. Okay, so that's not good for fertilizing plants on this planet if all the bees are wiped up. So you hear a lot of people, self-righteous talking about the environment, saying it's because of your farts and things like that. And what I'm trying to say is, gosh, you want to help the environment? Why don't we go back to the plain old telephone service without all these cell phone towers, Wi-Fi's, and all this? But it'll never happen because it's producing an electronic, like concentration camp. Okay, that's what's wanted. Animal trackers in an electronic concentration camp. So good luck getting rid of that. But anyways, that's why I think cell phones suck. I don't routinely carry one. I almost never use one. I've sent maybe like in my entire life about 10 text messages. Maybe 20. It's something real minimal. Only in a rare situation would I do one of those things. So for what it's worth, I also noticed, I think one of the reasons why I've kept my smarts, I kept my physical strength. I just did 70 push-ups yesterday. An old guy, 60 years old, did 70 push-ups, okay? Squatted 145 for 50 reps because I want to stay simple. When you're simple and stoic and Christian, you're resilient, okay? When you become a modern conformist, dummy looking at your phone every 5 seconds, eating junk food, you become stupid. Okay, so anyways, that's why I hate cell phones. Hope that was useful to you.